Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse, aka BGFH, and I am back for another assistive technology spotlight video for you guys. And if you're low vision, you're probably going to really like this video. I discovered a tool for some modern web browsers a few days ago. A coworker of mine, a friend of mine, pointed me to it. And I finally got a chance to try it out yesterday, and you know what? I gotta say, I am actually really liking it so far. So we are actually going to be taking a look at a little plugin or a little add-on for Chrome, Safari, and Firefox called Dark Reader. And I have the website up on the screen right now. Basically, just go to darkreader.org. It's that easy. You go to this page right here. You click on your browser of choice, in your browser of choice, and you click the little install add-on button on the next page or whatever, and usually you'll get like a confirmation from your browser. It doesn't support Edge right now, but that's all there is to it. I mean, literally, you say, yes, I want to enable this add-on, and boom, you're up and running. I mean, it takes literally probably 10 seconds, if that, 5 seconds. So Dark Reader does exactly what you think it would, and it's actually really nice because here's the thing. You know, a lot of browsers and stuff, some of them will have dark modes or they'll have dark mode add-ons, but they'll just change the interface of the browser itself. For instance, if I go to Edge, and I say, let's go to my Control L for my location, you see that is nice and dark. The interface up there is nice and dark. However, look at this giant white Google page. Well, that's obnoxious. So it doesn't do anything with the page backgrounds. I could invert the colors. You know, I could turn my color filters on in Windows 10, and there we go. But that's going to mess up with all my colors on the web page. You know, that's your common problem. You look at something image heavy, you go to Amazon, you go to Facebook, you go to Twitter, whatever, and there's images everywhere. Well, that's not quite going to do it. So let's close out of Edge for now. We're back in Chrome, and yeah, this basically the page that we're looking at right now. Dark Reader turns everything into, I don't know if it uses like the CSS of the web page and just kind of overrides it, or however it does it, but it works really well. It'll automatically give this sort of a dark gray dark mode to pretty much any web page. So if you have web pages that are light, they will now be a nice, less harsh dark. So I have several tabs up and running. We did a control tab here. Now I am on the Audible page. And look at how nice this is. I still have, look at all my books, all the pictures, even the mouse overs when I hover over something. Those little pop-ups are dark. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, I think it's not going to be perfect, and you can exclude sites if you want to, like if there's a website that you visit where it does interfere with the way something looks. You can add it to basically a whitelist, or you can turn it off temporarily. So there is a shortcut key that I can also use once this is enabled. Alt-Shift-D. Check this out. Okay, I had this problem on one other site yesterday when I was testing this. Why does that not work? Of course it doesn't work. I know it's Alt-Shift-D though. Okay. Well, like I said, this is a live demo, and that's sometimes what will happen. I do want to show you not everything is perfect. Let's try another tab here. So we got Google. Yeah, there we go. So I don't know, maybe there's some shortcut on Audible that conflicts with it or something that I don't know about, but ow, it burns. Much better. Nice dark mode. So let's go back to Audible here. Yeah, so it does not want to switch by itself on Audible, and I'm not sure why. Interesting. But you get the idea. Audible itself is a white website. I will come back to it when I show you some of the controls for the add-on. But let's go back to Google. So I showed you that's Google. We have Giant Bomb here. This is a dark page by default anyways. But now you look at the background. It is on, but if I turn Alt-Shift-D, it's a little bit lighter. That's the original gray that they used. So it still does change things a little bit. And actually, let me turn it off one more time. You see how, look at the picture on the bottom here, right here where my mouse is. You see that little subtle gray there? You got the dark gray next to that picture here, that thumbnail. If I turn Dark Reader back on, that kind of disappears. And I don't think it's necessarily because that square disappeared. I think the actual hue that they use for the background, they've just equalized that square and the background. So you do sometimes lose a little bit of detail. See, I mean, like right here, this is still okay. This white or this lighter, these lighter things down here are okay. But you may find some places that don't work. That they'll make it look easier, but you might lose a little bit of like shadow or detail. Let's go to another tab. This should look familiar. AppleVis. That is a very light site generally. There is the normal version. Ow. And it's toned down a little from what it used to be. They used to have that kind of a yellow sidebars. And look at this. You have the white in the middle, and then you have the light gray on either side. I'm going to turn it back on. So yeah, they keep everything. Now you can see the lines. I don't know if you can tell if you're low vision. Let me turn magnifier on just so you can see. Right here to the left, you can see the separation. So they actually take, and there's a little, I don't know if you can tell, there's a subtle difference between the content and the sidebar there. So there's a little slight gray difference. But, nevertheless, it makes the body of the page still readable, still very good. And like I said, it's not even so much, for the most part, unless it really, unless it overrides something where like there's a button or something that I can't physically see, I would say most everywhere that I've gone, and I've used this a lot the last couple of days, everything, just having this dark mode helps a lot, because even if I'm not visually reading it, I'm still looking at the screen, as I'm listening to my screen reader, and just staring at white colored screens throughout the day at work, or in combination with fluorescent lighting, which I don't really care for either. There are some days, especially depending on how much sleep I got or what have you, my eyes do get kind of tired after a while. And I know a lot of people have that same issue. This can definitely cut down on that. So that is AppleVis. And now we are back to, Amazon. So, everyone knows if you go on Amazon, it's this bright white. Again, let me turn it off. Turn it back on. And it's almost instant too. It just takes like a second. So, boom. I mean, it just looks way better. I looked up a PlayStation 4 because I really still wouldn't mind getting one. They have a lot of exclusive games now that I kind of want to play, and I really wish I could have got that damn Spider-Man PS4 for the $200 deal. So, if anyone wants to donate a PlayStation 4 to the channel, you will be mentioned. You will be praised on a video. So, if you want to, go ahead and donate a PlayStation 4, that'd be great. Um, but yeah, so look at the Amazon page. The links themselves, they're not bright white, but to me they still stand out. Let me zoom in for anyone who has trouble seeing. So the links are still sort of dark. They're kind of this blue. What would you call that? Like a bluish gray teal thing or something. I don't know what you would call that. But yeah, like I said, for me, it works beautifully. I absolutely love it. And now we're back to the Dark Reader website. Let me go back to the Audible page because I am curious. Now I will show you the little bit of interface that this has. So if you're in Chrome, I don't even think I have Firefox. Actually, I might have Firefox on this computer, but let me zoom in a little bit more just so people can see. If you are really low vision, up in the upper right hand corner of Chrome, you've got your personal account if you're signed in. Got my little Doom guy up there. And I have two add-ons running right now. I have AdBlock Plus, which, by the way, is a really nice thing to have, especially if you're using assistive technology like a screen reader. I will say I was talking to a friend of mine about this last night, actually. And if you run an ad blocker and a screen reader or a screen magnifier like ZoomText, I think web pages load a heck of a lot quicker. Just because, your screen reader, your assistive technology, it has to parse everything. It has to figure out everything that's on the page. Well, if you have an ad blocker like AdBlock Plus, which is free, by the way, you can, you're not loading all these banners. You're not loading these little mouse overs. You're not loading these little square ads everywhere that are along, that are sometimes in the middle of articles or along the sides. And, if the page doesn't have to load those things, if the screen reader doesn't have to process all those things, your pages will actually load a lot quicker. So I've been using ad blockers for a few years now, both on PC and on mobile. I use a different one on mobile. I can't even remember which one I use on iPhone. But you know what? It does help. Like, I do notice a difference. So just a little cheap plug for the ad blocker there. But you see this little dude here? We have Dark Reader. I'm going to click on it. And we got our little interface here. It says Dark Reader. And we got our website here. I can turn it on or off. And you see it has the nice little shortcut there. There's the one that I've been using, Alt-Shift-D. That's how I've been turning it on and off. And now I haven't really played with these all that much because I like the way it is right now. But if you want a different contrast, like you can switch it to light, you can switch it to dark. I don't know why you would want to. I guess if you could use this in reverse too. Like some people do like a light background. And some websites are dark, so you could always set it to be a light theme, and then it would override and make everything light for you too. So you can use it in reverse, even though it's called dark. I keep going in to call it Dark Detector for some reason, Dark Reader. But then you can do like your brightness, your contrast, sepia. I don't really know what sepia is. I know it's some kind of like a highlighter thing, I think, but I don't know. I don't really know what sepia does all that much. I think it's kind of the tint of like, that bluish color that I told you about. I think that's what that does. I can do grayscale, so if I want to take out some of the colors even more, I can. Only for www.audible.com. So this is where, like, if I want to set like an exception where I want dark mode on all the time, but maybe it looks weird on a certain site, so I want to exclude it. I got some, so I can look on Got a privacy policy. You can follow them on Twitter, GitHub, or help. You got a couple buttons down here for donate. If you like this thing, it is free. You can donate to them, help them out a little bit. Latest news and dev tools. I have not gone in there. Let me just see if I click on off up here. Yeah, so this page, even though I have it set to off, let me hit F5 and reload. Okay, see, there's Audible. Look at, ew, it's all white and stuff. Let me see if I can do my shortcut now. Okay, now, now it works. I don't know. I guess it was just something within the page. I just had to reload it, and now it toggles just fine. So that will happen every once in a while. Like I said, I had it happen once yesterday when I was looking at some other website. But this is Dark Reader. That's really all there is to it. Basically gives you a dark mode or a light mode if you want to use it that way. It supports most of your modern browsers. It doesn't do Edge, but it does Chrome, even Safari, and Firefox. I pretty much live in Chrome most of the time these days, so I've been using it here, and I like it a lot. So if you are a low vision user who wants kind of a nice, consistent, dark theme in the body of your web browser, and think about it, like, everything that you do, actually, let me try something here really quick. Let's go to Google Docs. Okay, and let me just, let's just do add one. Let's see how Google Docs looks. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Now, there's not a lot of contrast between the border there and the document itself, but you can see the little blinking cursor. But still, you know, yeah, you do lose some of the subtlety. You lose some of the, like I said, the shadows and the accents and colored accents and things. But like I said, a lot of schools, a lot of businesses are starting to use Google Docs or Google, Sheets and all this stuff. So it will work in there. So if you want something that's going to that'll allow you to keep the colors for photos and stuff, but just get rid of a lot of the blindingly white backgrounds in your browser, because a lot of your work is done in a web browser these days, and so that's what Dark Reader will do for you. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, found it helpful. Again, just go to darkreader.org and install it from your browser of choice. That's all there is to it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79. You can also follow me on Mixer, mixer.com/BGFH. And until next time, I will chat with you guys again later.